Hello, my little ice cubes, and welcome. It is I, your big Oni sis, Calla Nevermelt, with yet another episode review of Dandadan, Dandadan, and this is episode 4 of Dandadan. Now, overall, this is a pretty good episode. Everything kind of wraps up. This is the last arc. And next week we'll be starting a brand new one where we will be soon meeting the GOAT that we have all been waiting for. Anime onlys, you are in for a nice treat. But until then, let's talk about this episode right here, shall we? So, after the giant worm, aka the Mongolian death worm, is killed, the Kita family is very upset about this, even though the giant thing literally ate them. But I guess when a devoted idiot, well, idiot's got an idiot. So Momo is looking around thinking what does the prophecy mean? And she comes to the realization that the prophecy didn't mean the giant earthworm, it actually meant a fountain. The fountain will rise. To which, of course, in the game of telephone, it gets lost in translation, and well, the fountain becomes a Mongolian death worm. Granted, it's not really helped by the fact that, again, you got this evil cult that's absolutely devoted to their, brainwashing and their idiocracy, but that's beside the point. So, Momo now has to think, how does she prevent everything from becoming that one scene in Minecraft where you got lava and chicken. So, she decides to use the giant dead Mongolian deathworm's corpse, which, one thing that I love about Dandadan, just like with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and other anime, is when they're not beating the shit out of one another or out of their opponent, they think of ways to get around a problem. And the wackier the better, because Momo believes that the best way to put out the magma is to give the worm an enema. For those of you who don't know what that is, I'm pretty sure I can't tell you, but let's just say she puts the fountain, she slams the Mongolian deathworm's anus into the water fountain, and well, we also get this absolute masterpiece of a meme moment where Momo's like, water gauge check. I'm sorry, that was absolutely hilarious. Now, one little detail about this is, granted, it's not a huge major thing, but in the manga, she's, the camera, if you will, is facing her, as opposed to the anime, where it's basically facing beside her. But again, that shot was the shot in the pose was absolutely hilarious. So, anyway, as Momo is giving the Mongolian deathworm an enema, the Kita family isn't too keen on their, God being disrespected in such a manner and try to stop her, to which she doesn't pay them no mind and instead goes to, use the head of the worm as a huge water hose to basically use slime to cover the magma and fire, put out the fire anyway. So, as she's doing that, the Kita family leader comes in, drop kicks her, and a fight ensues. Now, this is where things get interesting, because not really out of nowhere, but the priest that we saw in the last episode comes in to aid her, because apparently he just realized that the master was talking about protecting Momo. And I just love the scene where the Gilf, Seiko just gives him just as little information as possible as to what he should do. And again, absolutely hilarious. But, so, the priest, helps Momo out with the fight, and as Momo is trying to use water gun or sludge bomb, whatever this move would be called with slime, Well, sadly, Gigi comes in, or Evil Eye comes in, and wrecks the worm's, body, to which now we got a new opponent. So, basically, more shit is hitting the fan, and thus we got Evil Eye basically delivering the smoke, to which the Kita, head honcho family member has to join forces with Momo and the priest to take down, the Evil Eye. Now, we see that they are having a hard pause time with all of this, and that is until we get a new member to the fight. And that is, of course, Mr. Shrimp, who seems like he did come out of nowhere, but no, it turns out that he brought himself, his son, as well as Seiko and Toro along for the ride to try to take down Evil Eye. And I just love that his son is singing as he's, doing his job. Is just absolutely adorable. But we see, Mr. Shrimp here is basically fighting back against Evil Eye, holding him off until, Granny Seiko comes in and delivers some of that smoke too. Now, the great thing about war is it's not always won by, punching the other guy. Sometimes a battle is won by brilliance. And we see just how brilliant this guild is, as we have Toro, which, by the way, in the manga, this was very short, but in the anime, they did a great job in stretching it out, making it more epic and awesome. And so, Toro comes out running, and Evil Eye just basically Falcon punches him out into oblivion. But as we all know, the atomical body can reattach itself. However, though, there is just one, not really much of an issue nor complaint, but just a little change from the manga. See, in the manga, the pieces were much bigger, and each one was covered with a talisman, or whatever it's called, the piece of paper to seal, evil entities. But in the anime, it's just one chunk that has the, talisman. And also, again, the image changes for whatever reason. But Evil Eye sees that he is about to get smoked, and thus he is now inside Toro, where I gotta say, I just loved this scene. Because again, in the manga, it's quick, it's just, one panel. But in the anime, they again stretched out to make it look absolutely amazing. It looked cool, it was awesome, and I just loved it. So, as the Evil Eye has now just been quarantined in technicality, Seiko tells A1A, put out the magma, stuff like that. Basically, jobs gets done. Although there's just one teeny tiny itty bitty problem. Where the hell is Okurin? And also Turbo Granny too. So, Momo is in a panic. She is running to see, the hole, the crater where the house was. And she is horrified to see that there is magma in it. To which she's saying, hey, I'm gonna jump in, and I'm gonna use my psychic energy to shield myself, because I gotta save Okurin. It's very sweet, very wholesome. And of course, the shrimp guy is stopping her like, hey, nah, you can't do that. It's suicide, stuff like that. And as she's, like, nah, I need to do this. I need to save him. He would do the same for us, etc., etc. Mr. Shrimp's child, I forgot how to say the kid's name. It's like, oh, no, there's no need. I can just, use my, gravity beam to pull him out. And I gotta say, this doesn't seem like a legit ass pull, but it is hilarious that apparently the reason why Okurin and Turbo Granny are not, deep fried chicken is because of plot relevance, or rather because of the slime. Apparently, the slime is strong enough to withhold or withstand liquid magma. And so he and Trouble Granny are okay as Momo tries to open up this huge ass, case, and it burns. She doesn't care. She opens it. There's, Okran. Trouble Granny's like, holy shit, this is hot. Again, funny scene. But also, the scene that was very wholesome, very sweet, was when Okra is hugging Momo, like, thank you. He's like, oh wait, sorry, I didn't mean to, but then Momo comes in to, hug him back. It's like, nah, I'm glad you're okay. She was worried. We get that very sweet, very wholesome scene with the two. And again, this episode was fantastic. I love it. There wasn't that much change, and the changes that were made were kind of unnoticeable, and it didn't really take away anything from the overall meaning or plot. So, overall, this episode was great. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I also hope you guys enjoyed this entire, video. So please, by all means, like, subscribe on, my socials like Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, etc. And also, again, next week is gonna be the new arc of this anime, and I look forward to it. I hope you guys look forward to it as well. And I need to come out with an intro. I mean, intro. I need to come out with an outro. But, bye everyone.